we go. We're up. You join me mid bumpage, so hopefully the chat is going to work tonight because I am on the cable, and you can see there's a variety of part where you might not be able to see. I've also got a bottle of glue, and you will from time to time tonight see me shaking this glue, because one of the things I found is that if you don't shake the glue, honestly, darling, I was just shaking the glue. It seems to separate, and it either won't come out of the tube or it comes out too thin, and it's almost like it's only one part of the glue, and it's not the part that sticks. So if you try and stick things on without this glue being shaken, it doesn't even want to stick. Now the other thing I'm going to do is just tip out some of those, because I hope tonight to have this wee Dalek together. I'll put a bit of a spot on the little divot for a little nodule for the hemisphere to go on, and then I drop the hemisphere on, and then with that hand I sort of squeeze it down while I put glue on the next one. And I try not to put too much glue on, but sometimes that happens and it squeezes out, and then sometimes I have to squeeze them both like that. It takes about 10 seconds to get them to bond, but if the glue is well mixed, it does grab quite quickly, and the longer you leave it vertical, the less gluey it is. So things that I did not know. So the thing is that, you know, every couple of rows of these, or at least once a row, you put the lid back on the glue because you don't want the air getting to it to dry it out, but you also want to be able to shake it to mix it again. So I hope you're well when you're watching this, whoever's watching, and let us begin. Yeah, I'll keep going on this side, I think. I'll keep going. The tweezers are not very good for picking up the little round hemispheres. They're okay for other jobs, but not for this. So I've probably been talking a while, so I'm going to put the lid back on there. And while I'm applying clamping force to this, the shoulder section is drying for that one, and you can just see the shoulder section for the big one, and I'll show you how that's going in a moment. The arm and plunger are just drying on both of those, so they're standing upright. So that one's turned out okay. This one in particular, this is completely unpainted. The big one has had some paint work done because the silver filament that I ordered didn't arrive, so I had to paint the shoulder bands silver and then sand some of the paint off on the inside so I could glue them, and hopefully I've glued them enough. The other thing I'm trying to do tonight is not get any glue on my fingers, which, the nature of live streams, I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to end up with glue on myself, but it's just a matter of when. That's okay. Sometimes it's just, you put on a bit, it's sort of diminishing returns. You want a minuscule squirt of glue. There's one. That's why I printed spares. But you've got to work quickly, because, you know, as soon as this stuff is out of the bottle, there it goes. It's not wanting to grab, and then my hands are sort of getting sweaty as well, which isn't really helping. And so there will be times where I just have to stop, let it dry a little bit, and then come back to it. But that's okay, because there's always another thing that you can do. But I'm going to go and try and find that hemisphere that went on the floor. Where will I find it? Will I find it? I don't think I will find it. So hopefully I've got enough. Found a spare giant blue one. I think I did print some extras. And I do still have black filament loaded, so if I need to print one, I'll print one, but I just need to be more careful now, don't I? Oh, sorry, that was the top of my head. No music tonight because of copyright strike. So while I'm doing that, the top of the red one, I've decided to go for yellow dome lights on it. I think the picture, I couldn't really find a very high quality picture. I had white, but I have scaled these up to try and make them a little bit taller as well. And I think the yellow looks okay. This one is going to need some pretty significant weathering. The neck is glued up, so you can see they don't all line up perfectly, but yeah, there's a good angle. So I've had to paint these all silver. These are just black filament, so they're okay. And then I did finally finish the skirt, but it's got that big yellow stain, so I'm going to have a go at some weathering, firstly with some red on here, and then some sort of dark muck washes on here, and see what I can get, particularly because this stain is around. It's very, very prominent there. I'm going to see what I can do to tidy that up. Here's the shoulder section. So when I talk about Daleks, this is a shoulder section. So this is a Dalek anatomy. So this is the shoulder section. This is the top collar. This is the lower collar. We have the red part on here is the skirt. The black part is called the fender in Dalek building circles, and the blue bits are the hemispheres. All right. We do call it the plunger. We just do. Normally we'll say the gun stick or the gun arm. And then we've got, so this would be on, this is called the neck section. On an actual full-size prop, it's built of a few different bits. The black bit in here would be called the bin, the neck bin. These are the neck rings, and these are the neck struts. So there we go. And then we've got the dome. Some people call these the ear lights, but we just, dome lights is fine. This is the eye pivot, eye stalk, and that's just the eye. These are the eye rings as well. So a little bit of my painting is not great with the spray can, but I've done my best there. And what I've thought to do is, this is going to get shipped off to Melbourne, which is quite a long way away from Bumfudge. So what I'm going to try and do is, this is keyed down here to this. So I'm going to try and sort of clock this. I'll see if I can drop it on here in its correct, like that. So what I'm going to do, if I get my shoulder section in here, and I'll very quickly talk you through the game plan, because this is going to need to be disassembled and boxed up. I want the head to still be able to move. That's part of the one of the features of this model. But I also want to be able to take it off. So what I'm going to do is glue the neck section onto the shoulders with the head essentially clocked backwards like that, so that somebody knows if they want to remove it, have the head facing the back, and they'll be able to drop it on with some ease, with relative ease, and then they'll be able to spin it around to the front. It also means then that if anyone ever tries to pick it up from the front, it'll be okay, and then they can clock it to the rear again and they want to take it back off. So that's my plan. So basically, the letter C goes out past the manipulator arm there. I could probably even just sort of say, oh, well, if I put C at, east, so is it Mecca? That it could do that. But I'd rather sort of do it like that, so it's properly, clocked backwards like that. And I think we're good. But I think the other thing I'll do is I'll weather these while they're in pieces, and then do a final assembly video, and I might even do a weathering video and then a final assembly all in one, and then give this a bit of a clear coat of lacquer. And I'm thinking the white one that's been just printed in PLA needs to also have a clear coat of lacquer on it, just because I think the dirt on people's fingers is going to end up getting into the little pores of the PLA and sort of, the little gaps in between, and it won't be able to be cleaned off. So if I can fill some of that in with lacquer, there's a chance that they can wipe it clean. So yellow lights, I think it'll look okay. What's it called? The Mutation of Time is the book cover that I went by for the design of this. And it's for a very, very good friend who's, I think he said his brother works in the MFS, the Metro Fire Service. So that's why. That's why it's gone the colors that it has. And I am thinking I'm nearly done. This is the fourth small Dalek that I've made. And I'm thinking I probably got one more in me. If you missed the non-canon stream about why these Daleks are being built, essentially the lovely organisers of the Bumfudge Spectacular are no longer allowing us to have a raffle when we have our stall, because that's making money, which is annoying because we pay $100 for the stall, which I understand is a discounted rate, but we paid the same as the Cubs and the Scouts and the Guides that are next to us. They also pay $100, and they're allowed to sell scarves and beanies and mittens and stuff to pay for their stall. We've got members that are driving from out of town and have to pay accommodation or drive 80 kilometers to get back home at the end of each day. So we thought it would be fair we always make a little prop and raffle it off with a lucky square. We have never as yet sold all of our lucky squares and actually got all of our money, which basically if we'd sold them all, we get $100. But we've never done that, so we only ever get something towards our costs covered. And as the costs are $100 for the stand plus the cost of accommodation and fuel, we've decided to take matters into our own hands, because a number of times that people say, oh, I wish you sold little Daleks that you'd made that we could put on display. My husband loves Doctor Who. I'd love to get him a little Dalek for Christmas. And you know what, in country Australia, there aren't many places where you can just go in. You can't just go into Kmart and buy a little Dalek. There was a time, if you lived in the UK, you could just pop into Asda. You can still pop into H&M? No, what do they call it? B&M home stores. And you can buy kits of Daleks. But you can't do that here. There's nowhere around for that. It's gone very much like it was in the 80s and 90s. There's just nothing. And yes, there is the internet. But they're also supporting local people that are doing a thing locally. So this is a lovely model, and we're not trying to profiteer. We're just actually trying to make it so it doesn't cost us a fortune to show off our full-size props that we do. So, we always will tell people, absolutely, it's a beautiful 3D model, and we'll tell people where they can get it if they want to make it themselves. We're probably, more than anything else, we are offering the pre-made, because there are people that want to make it, I mean, that's the whole reason that we exist, is that, we were the people that just wanted to make a full-size Dalek or a full-size R2-D2 or something. And other people don't want to do that. Other people wish there was just a kit you could buy. And yeah, even for like R2-D2, I think there's a kit of aluminium pieces you can buy, and, basically clad in styrene, and you've built yourself a thing. And there's home garage kits and stuff like that. I mean, they could go to Mooncrest Models, couldn't they, and buy one of their home model kits, or they could, pay someone pay someone a commission to make them a scratch-built Dalek. We're just kind of offering the best solution that we can. I mean, let's face it, if we were going to charge, we'd be saying, well, it costs us this much in filament and this much in time and electricity. I think I worked out once when I was I printed a paper towel roll holder, and I'd said if I charged $1 for every hour of electricity that I'd used, not include just electricity, and I'd said, all right, everything comes down to $1 an hour to print. Painting, finishing, removing support materials, assembling. A single paper towel holder would cost $80, and nobody would buy one. So 3D printing's great if you're the person that owns the means of manufacture, but I don't know, a lot of people just sort of go with that. Oh, well, you own the 3D printer, so you can make me a, insert MacGuffin here. And that's not necessarily true, because Just because I own a 3D printer doesn't mean I'm any good at CAD. And I'm not very good at CAD at all. You know, I like CAD. I'm trying to get better at it, but I'm not very good at it. Yeah, I'm still very much a novice. So I'm getting around there. I've got around there done. So I'm going to set this aside to continue drying. And I'm very quickly going to try and move on to another piece. So over here out of the way, you can just see it with these clothes pegs, is the eye stalk. Now I forgot to print this in the right color, so it is printed in the incorrect color. For that, I am sorry. I also have two eyeballs. I don't know why I have two eyeballs, but I do. So if only I had a little white paint pen, I'd trace around inside one of them in white, but I do not. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put some glue in one eyeball, and I'm going to stuff the eye stalk up its backside. And yeah, we're headed off tomorrow. We're going away on a fun-filled trip for medical reasons. So I don't think, I mean, I might get a chance to make some kind of shorts type appearance, but I don't know how it'll go. Now I need a wee thing to clean off some excess glue. Can I get to it before the glue sets? Maybe. Oh, my finger's stuck. The other thing I found with this stuff is if it's going off and you touch it and move it, it's game over. You really have to re-glue it. So you've got to work really, really fast with it. So what I'm going to do is put this peg on it and leave that standing vertical like, so that will dry. Okay, there's the next section for that one, unpainted. And I'll try and do the same for this one. I'll try and clock the head so that it can be turned. All right. I think I should probably keep working around like this, just because this has made the world of difference, this glue. And so it's been a big, I've got a new tool in the workshop that I need to set up. And then I need to get rid of the old tool that it's replacing. Not this old tool, a different old tool. Friday was the last day of work for a couple of weeks, because it's now school holidays, but Friday wasn't a Friday. It felt and had all the hallmarks of a Monday. The first time I've ever seen the brake go off on a saw-stop saw. And what was interesting after some investigation was the cause of the brake going off was the riving knife touching the blade. So, okay, the riving knife flexed and touched the blade. Upon trying to replace the brake, and the blade, there were then issues with how close the riving knife was already to the top of the blade. And then on further investigation, because when you get a saw stop cabinet saw, you know, it is what it is. It's a brilliant piece of kit. You know, the safety technology is amazing, and that's why we wanted one, and that's why we pushed to get one, despite, you know, the bean counter saying, oh, I don't know, it's a lot of money. You know, the safety things, just, there's going to be a lot of glue squeeze out there. Yeah, the safety aspect was it made it a no-brainer. Of course you're going to get one. If you work in education and you do woodwork, you should have a saw stop. I mean, it should just be, that should be mandated for the budget. I know that there are lovely table saws that are cheaper, that have, sliding benches and stuff with them, but in terms of safety, I mean, God, kids are going to do dumb things. So anyway, the brake went off in from what I saw. There were no hands or body parts anywhere near the blade. Like I say, it was the riving knife that touched the blade. And then on investigation, some of the parts of the saw are assembled, and it just sort of arrives as a basic cabinet, and then you have to put together the other bits and pieces. One of the parts that's already assembled in the cabinet is the block that holds the riving knife, and it's kind of got slotted. See, this one hasn't stuck at all. It's got slotted screw holes, and it also has, see, that's the thing, if you don't get it and you move it, it's game over. It's had slotted screw holes, and then it has these sort of teeth, and the teeth are to sort of adjust the riving knife vertically, like this. So you can either move the whole thing up or the whole thing down. When we couldn't get the riving knife any further back off the blade, we took the bolts out for the adjustment mechanism and found that the teeth were all bloody crossed over, and the one block was at 45 degrees to the other, and the teeth were all meshed up and messed up in there. And so when we aligned the teeth, and then you could move the blade up a clear millimeter, now there's heaps of space there. But because the blade was, the riving knife was already kind of angled down towards the blade like this, because the block was bolted all funny, that likely contributed to the brake going off. And then on the new brake, there's a key that goes in, and it goes through a keyway, which is keyed. So there's a little slot, which means you can only put the key in one particular way, which is good for me because I'm an idiot. So the key went seamlessly through the old brake without a problem. New brake, key wouldn't go through until somebody from SawStop just said, in passing, you might need to move around the rear of the little keyed housing to allow the key to go through. Now, the housing didn't move on the original, only on the replacement one, which was supposed to be the exact same part. So that was a little bit strange, because we're trying to follow the instructions. The other thing was that when I phoned, the person that did end up being very helpful first said, "Have you read the manual?" Because I said, "I'm having trouble aligning this new brake, yada, yada, yada. Have you read the manual?" And I said, "Yes." And then they said, "What does it say in the manual about changing the brake?" And I thought, is this a service line for a tool that is less than a year old, or am I back at school and I'm actually having a quiz? I wanted to say, hey, I'm the teacher, I make the quizzes. But there you go. So a bit more shaking of the glue needed. Whew, the fumes are getting bad. But I'm nearly there. I only hope I'm not one hemisphere short. If I am, it's going on the bottom. But I'm not going to weather this one, I don't think. I think I will just keep going. So, and all the work health safety stuff has to get followed as well, because whenever, a safety mechanism was triggered, so that means that you've got to report it. And of course, that you always want that happening on the last day of work before a 2-week break. You always want to fill in all the reports and stuff, but it could have been so much worse. I'm very happy that nobody was hurt. It was unfortunate that it cost a brake and a blade, but again, could have been so much worse. Could have been on the old saw, which doesn't have any safety technology like that. And it could have actually involved someone's hands or something. So that's okay. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for talking about it. I might. But I also need to talk to someone about it. So the YouTube making community is my someone. Thank you for being my someone to talk to. Whew, nearly there. Now, the funny thing will be, if I get to the end, how many will fall off? Put your predictions in the comments. How many of these will fall off when I get to the end? I think that one's going to fall off because I think the glue is starting to settle again. You kind of need to, once it's bonded, you can't bump it. If it's bonded, if it started to sort of grab and you bump it, you're going to re-glue it. This is what I found with this. I mean, this Gorilla Glue is really interesting stuff like that. I would have thought you've got to kind of keep it steady for 10 seconds. And I do not have the steadiest hands at all. My hands are absolutely not steady. So I'm trying really hard. Also, I'm trying to correct my posture. And I'm also trying to not breathe in the glue fumes. There's a lot of trying on my part here. I hope you all appreciate how much I'm trying. But we should get a good glue bond because none of these parts are painted. It should all go together quite well. I think when the silver PLA does arrive, I'm going to try and do a silver and blue Dalek. And I think that'll probably be the last one. I think I've pretty much exhausted my interest in 3D printing little Daleks. And I'm also hoping that at the next Bum Fudge Spectacular that I don't end up taking any of them home with me. Because, to be honest, I've got so many Doctor Who things. I've actually got a lot of Doctor Who things I need to get rid of because... Not because, you know, I don't like it anymore or anything. I've got so much stuff and no space. And there are things that I have... I think I've already said this, that I really treasure. Things that I have that are so important to me. But other things I've got, you know, they're nice, but they don't have the same kind of deep association. And part of what I want to do in my shed is declutter. And, you know, I'm finding out, again, I have to move projects to do projects, and that's really annoying. I don't want to do that anymore. So I want to clean up. I know I'm going to be helping somebody hopefully get their Dalek build finished by helping them construct a new skirt. Oh, I think this one's going to be one of those ones that won't stick. How many have we got? Oh, I got 2 left. Oh, we're cutting the margins thin here, mate. I'll tell you what, I'm going to need some fresh air in a minute. So we're off, and I'm going to see my surgeon, who's a nice person. We researched him on the internet. He seems very good at what he does. There we go. One populated skirt. Oh, I think I moved that one under my thumb just then because I'm kind of getting sweaty thumbs and they're sticking. All right, there we go. Okay. Now, I'm hoping that this has grabbed enough that I can take it out of the clamp. And then what I normally do is I'll put some Gorilla Glue in here. Pardon me. And I use this little sanding block as a spacer like this. And I'll set this down with the eye stalk resting on here at an angle that I think looks a bit Dalek-y. And then we'll go with that. So I'm going to move that out of the way to just cure quietly and we can get on. The plan was to just try and get... Yeah, I think that's okay. So I'll kind of put this in here like that and then rest it on there. Right. And these are my failed attempts to scale up the lights. I scaled them up, and they're quite a loose fit in these holders. And that's a spare eyeball that I don't need. That's a spare big slat. I always tried to print like one extra of everything, and my giant plunger failed. It started to rock and roll around on the print bed. But that's okay. Okay, so we're getting there. And these two tubes, that one's empty, and that one's glued down because it leaked. Hang on, I need to shake it again. What else can I find around here? I've got a spare gold hemisphere from the Planet of the Daleks Emperor. So that's pretty cool. That's not a spare light. It's a broken off bit of a cotton bud. But yeah, I was thinking of doing a Genesis one. Jennifer of the Daleks. I'm going for one. You think greater than? I think it'll be greater than one. I'm thinking. Well, I think definitely that one I identified earlier is going to come off, and it wouldn't shock me if there were another. I think you've had experience with this glue. Did you find the same thing, that if you bump it while it's sort of tacky, that's it? Glue it again. There we go. What incline do we want? Oh, no, I want it a bit lower than that. Yeah. I just want it sort of like it's looking a person in the eye, you know, a little bit. There we go. Yeah, like that. Whew. Thing is, I could preempt it by starting to like touch it, but I won't do that. So the next job now is, hopefully these they feel pretty rigid. Now I'm going to stick the collar on. I'll stick the shoulders on there. And because none of this is painted, it should all go on quite readily. So I'm going to put the glue on the base, on the skirt, and I'm just going to try and I'm going to put enough tacks there, hopefully, that I can just How's that looking at the back? Oh, there's one. I think it was the one I pointed to as well, but here's the new problem. It's disappeared under the table. And that means getting on my hands and knees, moving out lots of T-stack boxes, and possibly employing a torch. Torch light. There's one. That'll do. There it is. There's the one. Can I find the other one? Nope, that's not him. Hold on. I'll keep looking. I've got to hold on to find my lost hemispheres. Hopefully I don't find any giant spiders under here. That would suck. That would be really, really bad. That would be, as the English say, really, really bad. I'll just blindly stick my hands under here. What could go wrong? No. Well, at least I found the one. Yeah. Nope. No luck finding the other one, but that's okay. That is okay. I found some little Ziploc bags. Then again, you often find them in Whyalla. And, I'll get my clamping strategy for this. Whenever I glue something on a Dalek, this is my clamping system, is a tray of batteries on the top. A 3D printed tray of C cells that I bought from a lady at the beach, because she sells sea cells by the seashore. Yeah, I know. Thanks. Don't worry, I'm here all week. And I'll try and do the thing where I clock the head the other way on the neck section so that it can be removed if necessary. Unfortunately, it will only be in the later models. That's how you be able to tell the what do they call the provenance? The provenance of the model is someone on Antiques Roadshow will go, well, the way to test whether it's an early one or a late one is we clock the eye stalk to the rear and see if the head comes off. If it doesn't, it's proof because Jimmy Bav, as a maker, didn't have great forethought and only thought of this in the latter stages of making this first batch of Daleks. There you go. That's my impression of someone talking about me on Antiques Roadshow one day, which will never happen. But that's okay. What else? What else have I got spare? Oh, I got another gold one. Here's another gold one. I should sneak two of them on. The Dalek with the golden balls. What else have we got? I've got some more black slats. Love some black slats. And I've got a spare little one. Look at me. Look at me being all prepared. I must have been confident when I printed the hemispheres to only have one spare. And another spare grey one. There you go. I suppose once this is glued up, then I can start, I'll start weathering this. Then again, I don't know. Should I weather it or not? Or maybe I need to do it as like glue it together and then weather it. I'm not sure. Part of me just wants to get it done, but part of me thinks weathering this might make a decent video, and I haven't put a video out for a little while, so I don't know what I should do. But I do, however, know that I just went to apply glue without shaking this first. Shake, 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 now shake it. This has definitely made a difference. Having this gel glue has been much, much improved. Okay. I think it's on. The other thing is how many of these will drop off before next year's Bum Fudge Spectacular. Who bloody knows? Who knoweth? I don't even know if air helps. I mean, it helps people. I don't know if it helps glue. Right. Now, because I'm really impatient. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That was blowing. Yes, to weather or not to weather. Whether that is the question. I just got, CA glue fumes in my eyes. So when I blew down into there, I immediately started to get tears in my eyes. Not a good idea. I've had better thoughts. So that goes like that. Right, so that's got to clock that way. So there we go. Yeah, see that dirty great seam down there, but that's okay. Let's say it's not the market I'm appealing to. I'm appealing to the market of, but I don't want to make it myself. I just want to give you some money and have one. So there we go. Now, can I very carefully pick it up and transfer it to a drying location? Maybe what I should do is I should weather maybe I should attach that section to that section and then work on weathering that. I don't know. I'm not sure. What should I do? Tell me, internet. Tell me what I need to do. So I need a huge clean out in the workshop, and I need to find somewhere to store lots of stuff. And I'm off on a car trip tomorrow, and I'm coming back to try and help make a Dalek skirt, and I need to try and get my Dalek shoulders sorted. It's a busy time. It's a busy time. I don't know if you can see out in the workshop. Maybe you can. Oh, and I've hurt my toe today. I don't know what I've done. Well, I know I've hurt it. I don't know how. It's a hell of a mess out there. But I do have a new tool out there. That is, you can just see it over there. What if I show you part of it, and you can guess what it is? Here it is. This is part of it. This is part of the new tool. It's also got lots of sawdust in it. It came with a lot of free sawdust. So that's it. I need to try and set that up. But in order to set that up, that wooden bench is going to go up against that wall of the shed near the whiteboard and and the router bits and stuff. So I want to move that, and then I want to get the little workbench that's over there and try and put that somewhere in the middle to use as like an outfeed table for the new tool. Then I want to try and stack all the T-stack boxes and convention boxes against the side wall. I want to move this away. I've got a fridge I need to get rid of, and I want to put the pressure washer that's just down there where the fridge currently is. There's plastic drawers there that I want to get rid of. And then I also want to put some shelves in this cupboard so I can stack up all my offcuts and scraps and things so they're not just in bins and buckets and boxes on the floor. So there's a lot to do. Plus, while I'm away, I would like to go to Carbatech for the first time and visit them and say, can I please buy the mobile base for said new tool? That'd be good. Yeah. I think if I assemble it and then let it sort of dry, I think that would be better, because then I can come back and say, here is the new model, and today I'm going to turn it from this into this. I think that's a good idea, because the video would be about weathering. It wouldn't be about assembling. I think that's a good argument to make. So I have to be careful here, because this is just grey PLA. This is painted, and so the painted one won't bond very well. It won't bond very well, Mr. Bond. But hey, these are holding on okay. But what I should actually check is, where does yeah, okay. Yeah, that's about what I expected. It kind of, I don't know if you can really see down there. It kind of cuts there. The round shape kind of basically intersects all the all the corners. So essentially it's a curve that, you know, sort of swoops around and gets all these in one go. So if I go just in front, if I put some blobs at the corners, just in front of the corners, I should be able to pick up the PLA on the shoulders. And this is, like I say, this is meant to be the original props that I guess this is based on. Just had undercoated shoulders. They didn't have paint. They just used either the plain gel coat and I'll use my eyes in there to try and line it all up without breathing it all in. And then I will swap to my weights. Hold on, I'll have to reorganize the weights here. I'll evenly distribute the weight on it while that glues up. And then I'll spin it around to just sort of check the alignment. It looks pretty good. I wouldn't be disappointed in that. I think when they get it, they'll probably go, "Oh, it looks kind of cool." You know, if I were a person that didn't own the means of production, I would be happy to receive this, even if it was, you know, in need of weathering, even if that bit wasn't done, I'd be happy. And so what I'll do next is I'll do the same with the top, and then I'll use the weights when I put the next section on. But again, I want to clock it. So it's going to be my new term for manufacturing. I'm going to clock this Dalek so that it's hid. So it's eye stick. Oh God, hang on, I moved that a bit too. I moved it a bit too. I was a bit too enthusiastic there, and I've lost it. Hold on. I think it feels like it's somewhere around here, but oh, is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So there. So that is going to be, as they would say in New Zealand, the beak. It's the beak. Says you should clamp it for about a minute. So I don't know if I don't have any other batteries I can put in there to hold it down for an extra minute. But there we go. And then I'll pick up the other one in a moment, and we'll see how much of the. Now the other thing is, I don't know how well this glue is going to hold because it's painted under here. So we will see. I mean, I could try and sand off some of it. Should I do that? Oh, we want it to be good, don't we? No one's going to look at it underneath. I'm destroying all my hard work here. I only hope this will mean it's going to stick better. At least I can rough it up a bit. Right, now I've got to clock it again. Where's die Klocken? Die Glockenvater. Die Glocken sind Dalek. Die Dalek sind Glocken. Right. Alright, so it's got to go on that way. Shake, 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 shake it. 10 minutes to go. Will we finish on time? Will Jim get the Dalek finished? Find out in the exciting conclusion of the pre-medical stream. Hopefully that's enough. Ready? Kerplunk. I think that's it. I think it's on there. Now I can go. Whoop. There you go. And then I was going to put this on as my quote for the week. You are not a Doctor Who fan if you have never used a Dalek voice while squirting flies with Mortine. You just aren't. If you have never said exterminate before spraying flies, you are not a Doctor Who fan. I know there's all these things about if you've never gone to a convention or watched every Regeneration episode and all that other nonsense. No. The standard definition of whether someone is a Doctor Who fan is, have you said exterminate in a Dalek voice while spraying flies? And if you haven't done it, stop whatever you're doing right now, because it's fly season. Go and find some flies, get your can of Mortine, and for goodness sake, get cultured, people, because we can't have more of this happening. All right, how many balls will fall off when I get the other Dalek in? Oh, I feel a loose one. Yep, I think it might be the same one. I think it's the same one. Back corner. Maybe the time's just going too quick. There we go. So this is the 100% scale. This version. And so this is 100%, this is 150. So the 100% scale is, in fact, I've got a ruler here. I can tell you how tall he is. And then you should be able to use your math skills to work out how tall the other one is. He is near as makes no difference to 200 millimeters tall. The 150 millimeter, the 150% scale Dalek is, what are your guesses? Put them in the comments. .300 millimeters, near as makes no difference. So there you go. They look all right. I don't know whether I can sort of bring the camera down to look at them, you know, sort of any better. But there we go. Sort of. Oh, hold on. Oh God, I'm in the photo. I don't want that. There we go. I mean, look at that. We're just sort of ominously looking at. Oh, look, he's looking for the TARDIS. He's looking for the TARDIS back there. There's a screenshot. So you don't need the picture. You don't need the TARDIS. You don't even need an 8-inch or 12-inch Dalek. It doesn't matter how big your Dalek is. It's what you do with it that counts. To be a Doctor Who fan, if you are a Doctor Who fan, or you're not a Doctor Who fan unless you have used a Dalek voice while you're squirting flies. 300, yay! You win. You win a lifetime free subscription to this stream. I know. Somebody today said they were watching this stream while they were. It was James Finger said he was watching this stream while he was doing a job, and I said that is probably very dangerous. In fact, this stream should have what they call a warning, a safety warning. Do not listen or watch this stream while operating heavy or dangerous machinery. Or please watch this stream if you are suffering from insomnia. That's the other thing we could write on it. Well, now that that's done, I am going to dream up plans. I've actually got to write a script for a funny video. Well, I've got to write a script for a video, and I hope it will be funny. Because if this thing doesn't work out, I'm going to need some comic relief to to break the silence. So there we go. I will. I think that'll be it. I know it's 5 minutes before time, but hey, I'm driving tomorrow. I need to get some sleep. Well, that's not bad. I've assembled, I think, 3. Well, this one, and the Planet Emperor with 1 bottle of glue, which is pretty good. I'm quite impressed with that. I think when I bought this last time, I didn't shake it. I think I thought to myself, why the hell do you need to shake super glue? And it didn't work, and I thought, oh, it's just naked out of the tube. Now I know, because I've read the instructions. And if you're listening to me, so stop. Yes, I have read the book, but it didn't mention anything about needing to clock the little thing on the new brake. But that's okay, because Ron and I figured it out. And who might I ask is Ron? For all you Mr. Mum fans out there. All right, I'm done. Where are we? We're nearly at 500 subscribers. In fact, if I check right now, when I say nearly, like, we're still just as far. I'm still just as far away as I was earlier. I think it's about 492. It's been stuck at 493. There we go. 7 away. It's been, although sometimes they kind of, oh, I've got a stream on right now. Oh, look, you're watching me watching the stream. There you go. That's fun. I wonder if we can hold it there. Hey, there's me. There's the, what do they call the latency check? Anywho, right. 1 person watching. Thanks for watching, Matt. And I hope if it's not too early, we can catch up tomorrow for coffee and a chat. All right, or at least a chat. All right. Until then, whoever happens to be watching this stream in the future, don't let Daleks exterminate your bananas. Bye.